The Los Angeles Lakers, once the crown jewel of family-run franchises, have just been sold. Not for a few billion, but $10 billion. And just like that, the Buss era is over. But what really happened behind closed doors? Why did Jeanie Buss, once so committed to keeping the team in the family, walk away from nearly 50 years of legacy? This isn't just a sale. It's the end of an identity and the start of something way more corporate. Let's break down the billion-dollar bombshell that's shaking the NBA to its core. Nobody expected this, especially not now. The Lakers weren't just sold, they were sold for $10 billion, shattering every previous valuation in NBA history. To put that in perspective, the Phoenix Suns were sold for $4 billion. The Celtics? Around $6 billion. But the Lakers? They doubled that, and then some. This wasn't a slow negotiation dragged out in public. It was quick, clean, and frankly kind of quiet, until it wasn't. When the news broke, even insiders were stunned. After all, this wasn't just a business, it was a dynasty. And dynasties don't usually go out with press releases. So why now? Why would a family that once promised the Lakers will never be for sale suddenly let go? Turns out, this sale has been quietly building for years. And the man behind it? He's not just rich, he's strategic. And his plan may have started long before anyone noticed. Enter Mark Walter, a name you might not know, but someone who's been moving chess pieces in LA sports for over a decade. He's not just some billionaire looking for clout. Walter is the CEO of Guggenheim Partners, a global investment powerhouse managing over $300 billion. He already owns the LA Dodgers, part of the WNBA's Sparks Chelsea Football Club, and has deep roots in sports business strategy. But here's the twist. Mark Walter already owned a piece of the Lakers, roughly 20 to 26% depending on who you ask. And in that agreement, he secured something crucial: first rights to buy, if the Buss family ever sold their shares. So while the public saw Jeanie Buss smiling courtside, Walter was quietly sitting on a golden ticket. And when the timing was right, when internal family shifts, trust changes, and financial offers aligned, he made his move. This wasn't a hostile takeover. It was a long game, played quietly, and won without a fight. And Jeanie? She didn't resist. Not because she didn't love the team, but because something inside the Buss family had already changed. For decades, the Buss name was synonymous with Lakers greatness, but behind the purple and gold legacy, the family wasn't exactly united. After Dr. Jerry Buss passed in 2013, ownership was split among his 6 children through a trust, each with equal voting power. Jeanie Buss, as controlling owner and team governor, became the face of the franchise. But not everyone agreed with her decisions. Her brother Jim Buss, once head of basketball operations, clashed with Jeanie on everything from trades to coaching hires. The tension got so bad that in 2017, Jeanie took legal action to remove Jim and secure control, not just over operations, but over the trust itself. Since then, whispers have grown louder. Internal power struggles, disagreements about the team's direction, and rumors that some Buss siblings were more interested in cashing out than staying in the game. So when a $10 billion offer came knocking, it wasn't just business, it was an escape hatch. Not every Buss wanted to keep living in the shadow of their father's empire. And for Jeanie, who had already fought to preserve the team once, maybe this time, letting go wasn't surrender. It was strategy. But just because she gave up control doesn't mean she gave up everything. This wasn't your typical billion-dollar exit. Yes, Mark Walter now controls a majority stake, over 66% of the Lakers. But what shocked insiders wasn't how much he bought, it was what Jeanie Buss managed to keep. Sources close to the deal reveal that Jeanie negotiated a clause that lets her stay on as team governor, at least for the foreseeable future. Even more surprising, the Buss family still holds around 15% of the team's ownership through their trust. Translation? Jeanie may have sold control, but she's still very much in the building. It's a rare move in sports, selling off the throne but keeping the crown. And it wasn't just about emotion. It was smart business. This structure keeps the Lakers rooted in their legacy, while opening the door to massive outside capital. Think international branding, new media rights, tech integration, things the old Buss family model could never fully support. So yes, the Buss era is technically over, but Jeanie's presence guarantees it won't be forgotten. Still, not everyone is cheering from the sidelines. When news broke, reactions were swift and divided. Magic Johnson, the face of Showtime, was one of the first to speak out. He praised Mark Walter's leadership with the Dodgers and called the deal bittersweet but necessary. Coming from Magic, that meant something. He was once part of the ownership group himself and remains one of Jeanie's closest allies. But behind the scenes, not everyone is celebrating. Kobe Bryant's legacy looms large, and fans on social media began to ask the hard question: would Kobe have supported this move? Many believe he was being groomed to become a future part owner before his tragic passing. For those fans, this sale feels like the door to that dream has been slammed shut. Longtime supporters worry this is the start of the corporatization of the Lakers. No more family dinners. No more emotional connections. Just business. And then there's the fear. If a new owner doesn't understand what makes the Lakers the soul of the franchise could slowly fade. Walter has a solid track record. But Dodgers fans will tell you, big money comes with big expectations and ruthless decisions. So now, the question isn't just who owns the Lakers. It's what kind of Lakers we'll be watching from here on out. Mark Walter didn't pay $10 billion to keep things the same. Insiders say his vision is aggressive, global, and unapologetically modern. Think fewer nostalgic throwbacks, more high-tech innovation, more international partnerships, faster player movement. Even talk of restructuring the franchise's media empire. Under Walter's Dodgers ownership, we've seen this playbook before: state-of-the-art facilities, record-breaking payrolls, global merchandising dominance. The results: World Series wins and a global fan base explosion. And now, that same formula is heading to Crypto.com arena. Expect heavy investment in player development, cutting-edge analytics, and potentially a shift in the Lakers' identity. Because while the Buss family prized loyalty and legacy, Walter's model is all about performance and profit. You want superstars? You'll get them. You want a new LeBron dynasty? That might be next. But the cost? Some fear it's the soul of the franchise. The sense that the Lakers were more than a business, that they were a family, a legacy, a tradition. And when tradition is traded for traction, things change fast. To the outside world, this might look like just another mega sports deal. But to Lakers fans, it's something deeper, something personal. The Buss name wasn't just attached to the team, it was the team. From Magic and Kareem to Kobe and Shaq, from heartbreaks to championships, they were there, front row, every step of the way. For nearly 5 decades, the Lakers were run like a family, messy, emotional, imperfect, but deeply loyal. That's what made them different. And now, for the first time in modern history, that DNA is shifting. Some fans feel like this is the end. Others see opportunity. Because in the hands of a global empire builder like Mark Walter, the Lakers may evolve into something even bigger, maybe even more dominant on a global scale than ever before. But the question remains: can you expand without losing your identity? Can you chase modern greatness without sacrificing the soul that built your legend? Only time will tell. The Lakers aren't just changing owners. They're rewriting what it means to be the Lakers. From a family-run dynasty built on loyalty, stars, and tradition, to a high-powered sports empire aimed at global domination, Mark Walter didn't just buy a basketball team. He bought one of the most iconic brands in sports history. And now, he holds the pen to write its next chapter. Jeannie Buss may still have a seat at the table, but the story is no longer hers to shape alone. What comes next could elevate the franchise to untouchable heights or strip it of the very spirit that made it legendary. So here's the real question. Is this the beginning of the Lakers' greatest era yet, or the start of their identity unraveling? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you excited for what's next, or mourning what we've lost? Either way, the NBA will never be the same.